Welcome to the Skill and Ideas Podcast by Izodua Asemota.
Hi, welcome to the Skill and Ideas Podcast. In today's podcast, we are going to be looking at how you may need less than you think. And so I'll start with a couple of questions. What if the biggest thing slowing you down isn't a lack of resources, but an overestimation of what you actually need? Do you really need 10 people to start? Or will 2 or 3 committed people do for now? Do you really need $500,000 or the $50,000 you're talking about? Or will a $5,000 be enough to get you started or maybe even get your first version out? Do you really need 6 months to prepare, or can you build something meaningful in 2 weeks? Do you really need a big office space, or can you work from home, share a space, or go fully remote for now? Sometimes what we call planning is actually hesitation wearing a suit. We overestimate the requirements and underestimate our ability to start small. And the truth is, most successful ventures didn't start at full scale. They began with constraints, tight budgets, small teams, limited time, and yet clarity. So maybe the better question is not what do I need to start? Maybe the better question is, what is the smallest version of this I can begin with? Starting small doesn't mean thinking small. It means being strategic. It means being focused. It means being willing to test, learn, and adapt quickly. Let's go a bit deeper. Do you really need the perfect product, or do you need a working version that solves one clear problem? Do you really need a large audience, or do you need your first 10 users who truly care? Do you really need complex systems, or do you need simple processes that you can improve over time? I mean, we live in a world that celebrates scale, but ignores the discipline of starting lean. And this is where many people actually get stuck very often. They wait for funding before they validate. They wait for a team before they start building. They wait for confidence before they take action. But momentum doesn't come from having everything. Momentum comes from using what you already have. So yes, a reframing for you. What do you already have that you are overlooking? What relationships, skills, knowledge, or tools are already within your reach? What can you repurpose, simplify, or strip down to its essence? Often, the first version of your idea is not meant to impress. It's meant to teach you. And the faster you learn, the faster you grow. Let's make it even more practical. If you're building a startup, can you start with a simple prototype instead of a full product? If you're launching a program, can you test it with 10 people instead of waiting for 1,000? If you're creating content, can you start with your phone instead of waiting for a full studio setup? I mean, progress loves simplicity. And then complexity sometimes is often where fear hides. Now, this doesn't mean you should never scale. Of course, you should scale. But scale is something you grow into. It's not something you start with. Because when you start with too much, you carry weight you haven't learned how to manage. But when you start with less, you build strength, clarity, and discipline. And here's something powerful to also remember in all of this. Constraints doesn't limit innovation. They shapen it. They force you to think differently. They push you to focus on what truly matters. They help you build things that are not just big, but effective. So maybe today, the invitation is simple. Strip it down, reduce the noise, cut out the excess, focus on the core. Ask yourself, what is essential right now? What can wait? What can I do today with what I already have? The truth is, you don't need more to begin. You need clarity to start. And once you start, everything else begins to align. So take that step. Start small, move fast, learn quickly, because more often than not, you need less than you think. See you in the next episode.